through. We're speeding through.
Okay.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to Recap Thursday. It has been a
It's been a
literal
minute.
month. I
Yeah.
checked the YouTube channel, and it's been a literal month since our last upload. Upload. You see that? You see that? Upload. Our last
It sounded
upload.
like you had committed
I,
to that,
I
so
did.
I didn't want to stop you.
Uh, except, uh, I fucked up. It should only be 2 weeks since our last upload. Our special Saturday edition of Recap Thursday did not actually make the journey from the channel to the YouTube channel. So after this, I will make sure to sort that out. It'll all be in order wonderfully on the playlist for you. Just wanted to put that out there. I mean,
Good.
if y'all wondering. But with
I
that
was.
said, we did miss last week's recap, so me and Captain Legs have decided to ludicrous speed through it.
We're
Yeah,
going glad.
we're gonna ludicrous speed through it just to get to the last session. Don't worry, nothing really happened. Why don't we just get into it?
I
Let's just get
did
into
post a
it.
TLDR on my
Yeah.
Facebook page for
Oh,
we
actual
played.
Facebook page? I thought it was just a TLDR on the Twitter sphere.
Well, it links.
Oh,
Um,
I thought it was literally just those like two sentences.
oh
Deborah
no, there's
apologized to
more.
everyone. That's it. That's all you need to
Yeah,
know.
no, yeah. No, there's definitely more. I can pull that up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, but just as a reminder, we did leave off with the party running away after cutting the Inquisitor's hand off.
Would have been his head, but he used a fade point. He burned a
Yes.
fade point.
Yeah, unlucky. So the party was able to quickly find some horses that were tied to a burning stable and jettisoned out of Woodside. We travel for a couple hours trying to get some distance from the burning town and camp out for the night. We set up our watches. Devil goes through his up. No, that's is it there? Yeah, it is there. That's then,
What?
right? Devril goes through his speech then.
No, that was last week.
No, that was see, this was what I was afraid of. Good thing I have you here. There you
This
go.
is why I take notes.
Teamwork.
So
Yeah.
what we actually
We set up watch.
you're like all over the place.
No, no. Well,
Yeah.
we're speeding through. We set
Yeah.
up watches.
Well, no. Like we had already left. Because the last time before last time we played was the 7th.
All right.
Wait a second.
You know what I'm saying?
Wait a second. Okay. So yeah, the 14th
Did we already
was
cover
the last
this?
time.
We already covered this.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
14th was the last time, and the 7th was the time before. So we are talking about the 7th.
No,
in-
that's right. The last time was with the porticles, the word that we could not figure out. Dropping.
Portcullis. So yes,
Portcullis. There you go.
we are now the beginning of last time. We're now leaving the place where we got like VIP access into, but we weren't
Fort.
allowed to stay there.
The fort. Yeah, the
The
fort.
the fort. But we were allowed to stay, so we left. Devril tells the guys there to keep an eye out for Holo because she still hasn't come back yet. We don't even know if she's alive, but the last time we saw her, she was fighting with the Nemesis.
Yep.
So yeah, we set up camp. This is when Devril makes a speech.
That's right. Yeah.
He apologizes to everybody for getting us all arrested. He
Doesn't remember it though. I'm just saying.
Yeah, he apologizes to Val and Andrew for them being in the situation they're in. Like he's gonna change all that, and then he has a little one-on-one with Ileana, who tries to summon Zyron. Is this when he's
Yep.
yeah,
Yep.
she's like so he
Yeah.
comes out and he's like, I'm so tired, like please fuck off and don't summon me again or don't try to call me again.
Yep.
And she's like, what? And so then she does try again later. And Devil's like, ooh, who's this Zyron? Is this a person that you remember from like the
Your
past? And
past
Ileana's
life.
like,
Yeah.
well, fuck. This isn't how I wanted this to go. So
Uh-huh.
now, yeah, now things are just weird. She can't summon Zyron at will. Um, so finally, we set up watches.
Mm.
Vander takes first. Nurhaz takes second. Holo returns.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, Nurhaz feels a tap on his shoulder during his watch. It's Holo. She
Yeah.
looks like shit. She has been through hell and back, and she's here, and she just looks the worst.
Mm.
And so Nurhaz freaks out and wakes everybody up. And
Mm.
we ask her what she remembers.
Yep.
She does remember that that she and the Nemesis fought for what feels like ages until he just up and left. Like he just walked away.
Yeah.
He's like, "Here, this fight is yours,
Yeah.
peace," and then just left. She
You
blacked
can't walk
out.
away from me. I'm an encounter.
You do,
No.
yeah. This is a boss battle.
No.
So yeah, she blacked out and woke up, very sore as a human again. She's not a wolf anymore. And then decided to seek us out, but she's very naked
Yeah.
because,
Very dirty.
as you know, she's a lot like the Hulk. When the Hulk transforms,
Except the Hulk keeps his pants, man.
somehow he's got these purple pants, but you know, when he transforms back into a human, he don't fit in those pants anymore. They're just super stretchy, but they don't like recover
Hmm.
as well as they should. So he's naked when he changes back, which is exactly what happened to Hola. Except she doesn't wear clothes as a wolf. Anyway, tangent.
Tangent.
So,
Holy.
we ask if Andrew can do something about Holo's appearance, and he's like, "Yeah, I can make it rain real fucking hard right here. You all should probably go." And so, and we're like, "Well, no, why don't you two just go
Yeah.
that way?"
And he's like,
And so,
it's not very, yeah, it's, but TLDR, he makes it rain, quite literally. He calls, yeah,
That
he
was
calls
funny.
down, he calls down like a shower, and
yeah,
Hollow takes
and-
a,
yeah.
takes a,
she has a little herbal essences moment.
yeah,
Yes.
with the hair flips.
Yeah. So it is now. The date is the 24th of Mercator. For those of you keeping track, which is it's
Yeah,
just
okay,
Sangka and
yes.
Bunny, to be honest.
Yes,
And
yes,
probably
literally just
probably
us.
take. So yeah, dinner.
Gotta keep track of
around
my
dinner-
paydays, alright?
Yeah. You get paid on the 11th.
Mm.
So around dinner, we come across a settlement. It's called Miles End. This is the next day.
Yes.
We're not. Yeah.
Yep.
Details. So yeah, it's called Miles End. There's a guy sweeping a porch. There's a bunch of people inside of the tavern. The porch belongs to the tavern, I think.
Yeah.
There's
it's
yeah,
literally
there's
it's just like a rest. It's like a rest stop.
yeah,
town.
family owned and operated.
Yeah. Basically the entire inn is run by a single family. I think it was like three daughters. Three daughters.
It was like three or five daughters.
Yeah, it
or
was
something.
three. Yeah, like something, and like two sons. Yeah, it's a big family. Like,
Yeah,
it's
and
just
they all just
a
run this
farming
tavern.
town.
It's
Yeah.
great. So yeah, we stay there for the night, get a couple rooms, and have some drinks. And we learn that drinks do not affect Deborah as they used to. That like Zyron doesn't come out. It ends up being drunken Devril,
Yep.
which is something we haven't seen before. So
Mm-hmm.
that's kind of weird. The next day we wake to bells.
Yep.
Devril puts his armor on and nobody's around. We go downstairs, no one's around.
Yeah.
But everyone outside is walking to church. They're going to church.
Yeah.
So Evander's like, "Fuck that, I'm staying," and so do
Yeah. He's
so do
a
Val.
Gaelic. Yeah, he's a Gaelic.
Yeah.
Val's an elf. Hollow
Nurhaz-
doesn't go. Like,
Yes, she
she's-
does.
Oh wait,
Yes,
yes.
she does.
Wait, does she?
Yeah,
Okay.
Nurhaz-
Okay. She.
Nurhaz, Val, and Evander stay
That's
behind.
Nurhaz. That's right.
Yeah,
Yes.
Devril,
Um,
Ileana, Holo, and Andrew go to church.
Yep.
And we make it just in time, but we do get a little a little
I'll,
finger wag for
yeah, for being
for
late.
yeah. Well, we
My
weren't.
bad.
We were like
The last. We were the
right.
last. The
Yeah.
Judicator was the last one.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's not.
Fashionably late. So yeah, we get in there and there's like preaching and stuff and it's like very very like hype
Mm,
and kind of also super cringe for the third party observers like
right.
everyone except for Devril.
Yeah, but
um,
it was described to us that even if you don't like, even if you didn't believe,
yeah.
it was just something about the atmosphere that
Yeah, it was
that kind of
very,
swept you
very
up.
infectious. Yeah.
Yeah, that caught you up with it, and it's slightly terrifying, just how
Yeah.
much of a conviction they have in the religion and what they believe in. But Andrew is having quite ironic giggle
He thinks it's
about that thing.
hilarious.
Yeah, no,
He's having
it's
such a good time.
fantastic. Um, but
Now we
yeah.
do hear the whole story about Valor Harkin,
Mm,
whose statue we came across in the very first town in Sandon.
yeah, the hero of the war
Yeah, he
to
slayed.
subjugate the elves.
Yeah, he slayed the last Elf King. It was in year 58, and the entire city was deserted. When the Thurinders came, the king awaited the army alone, the Elf King, and then he killed 100 men before Valor Harkin took him down. So that's the TLDR of that. So a bunch of other stuff. Everybody's super overzealous. Devril's like pumped when we leave. Um, the rest of us are like, let's leave right now.
Yeah, like let's go. Yeah, and with that, after the church service and everyone goes in the tavern, have some drinks, the party leaves. Make our
Now,
way.
yes, now in the evening we see the mountain. So yeah, we keep going. In the evening we see the mountains to the northeast,
Hmm.
and Ilyana tries to summon Zarin again. No dice. Devril just is like, "Hey, cool! You're like remembering this guy still. That's really great. Remember anything more?" And she's like,
God
"No."
damn it.
Yeah.
It's great.
So finally we reach Sarnath,
Yep.
and
It's a huge city.
yeah, it's a lot
It's
bigger than
gigantic.
for sure.
Yeah.
Um,
It's like 3 times the size of Sandin, the city
yeah,
where we woke up
the
in,
first.
and that was technically 2 cities
Yeah.
and a port city. So yeah, this
Yeah.
place is absolutely gigantic. There are guards at the gate. We come through the western gate, and we're asked by the guards what our business in there. I kind of I tell them, show them the judicator and help Evander and Val get through without too much trouble. Nurhaz gets questioned. He says that he's
Come to my nest and be one of my chicks.
What you mean?
I got a nest full, like a mama bird. I got a nest full, like a mama bird. I got a nest full, like a mama bird. Like a mama bird. I got a lot of chicks. I got a nest full, like a mama bird. I got a nest full, like a mama bird. I got a nest full, like a mama bird. Like a mama bird. I got a lot of chicks.
Thank you so much, Fanatic, dude. That too kind, man. Too kind.
You rock.
Yeah.
I think at this point, Val has turned into a cat, so that
Yes.
that gets rid of,
Yes.
or that is her alibi.
That
She's
is
a
her
cat.
alibi. She is
Definitely
a cat.
not an elf.
Nope. Yeah, Evander doesn't talk very much or at all. Nurhaz gets questioned, says that he's Devril's private blacksmith, which is it's not that weird. And they pass us through. Devril basically stops. We enter the merchant quarter of Sarnath.
Yeah, it's in the
and-
ghetto,
No.
right? Oh no,
No,
that's
no,
the
no,
next.
no, that's south. We enter the west gate.
Right, right. We
And
go to the ghetto
it's
later.
it's the merchant. Yeah, it's the merchant's quarters. And Devril stops the first person that he asks, and he's like, "Hey, is there a place where we can find an inn that's less busy, like not going to be as expensive as in the merchant quarters. And the man directs us to the quieter part of town, like where the regular markets is for Sarnath. And we pass by, every couple blocks we pass by an inn, and we're looking at the names, and we find an inn. What was the name of the first one?
The first one was the Outrageous Marquis.
That's right.
It's very gaudy.
Yeah, and if Devril and Evander try to hassle for extra rooms because he only had 2 free rooms, and there's like 7 of us.
Yeah.
But
and they were
a
pretty
no-go.
expensive too.
Yes, yeah, they were.
He was like 2 rooms for this ridiculous price, and we're like,
no, thank you. Yeah, so Evander tries to hassle with the help of by using Devril's rank. Doesn't work.
Right.
We leave.
Yep.
And end up at the stick and barrel?
Staff. Close.
Staff
So
and barrel. Ooh.
Yeah,
I just have that barrel man with a stick.
It's just
Our
like a really
erect
long
barrel man, all right?
It's a very long stick.
That's right. It's a more refined stick. It's refined into a staff, all right? Yeah, the staff and barrel. Which is a lot more homey. It's a lot more homey. The innkeeper's really, really nice. He's a hardworking man. He looks like he's honest. Let's put that. He's not into. Yeah, we know the rule here. We don't pick up phones. All right. But yeah, no. And the party ends up. Stop. The party ends up. Holy.
Get the phone. At least hang up.
Yeah, that's true.
It's gonna keep going. Nope.
Oh, see, you see that? As soon as I get up, it stops. Nope. Oh, I thought you continued. Goddamn.
What? No, I was waiting for you because at this point I have run out of paper, so I didn't write anything else down, and then I doodled Blanche for you. So this is
that's why you doodled Blanche. All right. No,
because I had no paper.
Yeah, that's right. Basically, we chill. We grab dinner since it's about that time. We ask the bartender for some information about Sarnath, right? And we ask him where we can get our gear. We ask him, what is there to see in Sarnath, since we're talking about. So he tells us that we're kind of in the western district of the city, which is, we saw the merchants and stuff like that. To the northeast is the keep, where Lady Sarnath resides, but she's not there. We know that she's stuck in the front lines in Castle Wallace.
Yep.
Over towards the east is where the port is, because Sarnath is by hedges on the lake that cuts into the city, and in the south is the ghetto, which is not the typical ghetto where everything is like run down. Well, everything is run down.
It's just not
shoddy.
as run down as you would expect. It's
yeah.
Yeah.
But it's called the ghetto because that's where all the non-humans live. So surface dwarves who are exiled, and elves that live outside of the wood, all here. So that's why it's the ghetto. And he tells us probably don't go there, yada yada. Except Devril's company is just like, well, I already have an elf and a dwarf, so I.
Yeah,
what's a few more?
We qualify, yeah, totally.
Yeah. And so we ask him about gear and equipment, and he says, well, you know, you look like a man who has taste, who has like good judgment. There is 2 people that you can go to. One of them is holy shit, I wrote his name down.
I didn't. I only wrote down the one that we go to.
Yeah, the one that we go to. Master Killian.
Boring.
Master Killian, who is a master blacksmith. And he works by the keep, by the palace, makes wonderful blades, and he's like, if you're looking for non-human, he can recommend somebody down in the ghetto, and his name is Forge Father Makato.
Yeah.
That's Forge Father Mikado. To which we perk up that it's a dwarf. Nurhaz is really interested. We decide to go to the ghetto. Right?
To the ghetto.
Yeah. And so it's still pretty early on there. So we decide to go there right away. Explore the city. And we reach the ghetto. It's gated. But there are no guards.
It's a nice
gated
community.
community. Yeah, it's not a ghetto. It's a gated community. There's no guards posted, but it is definitely separated off from the rest of the city. It's at this point that Val, who is still in cat form, fucks off.
Yeah, she just leaves.
Yeah. And we head over. Nurhaz asks some people in the ghetto and head over to where people are calling the Heart Forge.
Yes.
And this ghetto, there's not a lot of elves. It's mostly like a dwarven community. It's just dwarves, service dwarves that have.
And we do notice that all of these dwarves have the same markings as Nurhaz does. All the same like tattoos and stuff.
Yeah.
Because they're the reject tattoos. They're the exile tattoos.
Yeah, you're rejected. No.
Yeah.
But yeah, we make our way to this huge forge, and it just like the sound is deafening. The bellows are going, and we can definitely know. We definitely can understand why it's called the Heart Forge, because it just seems like it's in the center of the ghetto, and it just thrums with life. There,
Yeah, it sounds like a big heartbeat.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think that's where that one.
That's where that arc ended. We ended in the Heart Forge.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, are we gonna pause or are we gonna keep going?
No, let's just keep.
All right. So fast forward to last week. So we go into the forge. I think this kind of like transitions the two.
Yeah.
But that's coming, Kyla. That's coming. Don't worry. So we're in the forge. We meet Forge Father Makato. He's this for a dwarf, he's very tall. He's super muscly. He's got white hair, white beard. And has a chat with Nurhaz, and he's like, "Do you want to come in?" And Nurhaz is like, "Yeah." And they're like, "Okay, you can come, but your friends can't because it's dwarves only." And actually, a bunch of dwarves come up and they like barricade us from going in, which we're like, "Okay, we get the hint. We're gonna go." And so we leave, and Nurhaz is there. And continues to have a conversation. So,
just before we delve into the meat of his conversation,
yes.
Hollow waits by the entrance of the Heart Forge. She waits
right.
for Nurhaz.
Right.
Devril and Ilyana go and have a date to the marketplace and take a look around.
Devril's having a great old time. Ilyana's just trying to figure him out. And yeah, she never is having a good time, let's be honest here, but now especially because she has no power over this guy. I mean, she does, but like not as much. She doesn't have power over like his other half, other side. So,
yeah.
So the whole time they're walking around, she's like What's
Yeah,
wrong
it's-
with you? Yeah.
and
And
then
then
Evander is off doing his own thing. He didn't specify, and then Andrew just goes back to the inn.
Yeah.
That's literally it. And then Val's still in the ghetto. Like she's just
She's
lurking.
just being a cat. Yeah.
She's just straight up lurking.
Yep, Karu's flying around too, just doing his own thing. So.
Yep.
Yeah, everybody's just having a day.
Yeah.
Having a day to themselves. So yes, meanwhile in the Heartforge,
Mm-hmm.
Makato asks Nurhaz what he wants, and what Nurhaz wants is answers. So and then he shows
No,
him
no,
his
no,
special-
no, 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 no. Hold on. He asks. He's like, well, what do you want? And he's like, well, I have this list. And he's like, no, 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 no. What do you want? He's really sage-like about this.
And then he says
Right.
answers.
Yes. And then he says
Yeah.
answers.
And then later he asks for the shit.
Yeah,
That
that's
he wants.
less important. That's less
Yeah,
important.
priorities. So yeah, first things first. They do have they have a chat. Nurhaz actually shows him his special dwarf box,
Yeah.
and
It's-
the guy.
It's an heirloom. It's his family
Yeah.
heirloom.
Now the Father Makato, or Forge Father Makato, doesn't. He looks at it, but he doesn't touch it.
Yeah.
And he makes a like visible effort not to touch it. And then he recalls something about the box and about Nurhaz's family.
Yes. He doesn't. He's never met a Makran. He says he has never met a Makran, but he knows of their clan, and he says that he knows of Nurhaz's father, Seto Makran.
Saito.
And Saito.
Yeah.
Oh fuck! That's all right. Oops, my bad. And he's supposed to be next in line to be Forge Father of Nos Drakar, which is a dwarven settlement to the east, like a month away. Like we looked on the map and it's just like, well,
Yeah,
all
like,
right.
that's hella far.
It's like halfway to the capital, which is literally like 6 months travel. So yeah, no, it's really far. His family is a long line of distinguished blacksmiths. They're in the smith caste or whatever, and his ancestors fought in the fence of the forge. To which Nurhaz says, "What?" and
Oh, yeah.
gets really weird looks that he doesn't know what the defense of the forge is, or the war of the defense of the forge, and he says that the dwarves, the forge father describes that the forge got attacked from below, and when Nurhaz asks by what, he says demons.
Yeah.
Demons. So,
Yeah.
which
so
Nurhaz doesn't go into detail. He doesn't ask any more questions, so we just left with demons.
that's enough said.
Yeah.
That's pretty shitty. Yeah, and then after this, he gets some gear
It's
for
shit,
everybody.
yeah.
Gets his
Yeah.
his list filled out, and then, oh, actually, meanwhile, meanwhile, while they're exploring the city, we didn't talk about this before. Very small detail, and I still don't know what the fuck's going on.
Oh.
While we're in the city, and Devril and Ileana are on their little date. Whoa, I just had a stutter thing going on. Devril starts counting, but
Yeah.
but Ileana asks him what he's doing, and he has no idea what she's talking about. So some weird's going on in there. We're not going to go into it yet because we haven't in the game. Now, back to Nurhaz.
He
Asks for work.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. Okay.
Yes, for work. Now, Forge Father Mikado says if you work in the Forge, you work for me, and the minimum contract, and you have to work under contract. Now, the minimum is 1 month. And Nurhaz is like, well, I'm
It's
pretty
funny.
loyal.
Yeah, it's very funny because when the group was leaving, when they got kicked out of the Heartforge, Devril says he kind of says it more to himself, but the group is there. Devril asks if he wonders if Nurhaz is going to stay here now that maybe he's given up on finding answers and maybe he just lives with his people. So that Devril's worried that Nurhaz will stay here. So when continue now. Nurhaz gets offered this contract of a month.
Yeah, and he says, "Nah, I'm actually really loyal to this this band of misfits
Yeah.
that I'm traveling with. So I'm sorry I can't work in the forge. I can't pursue my passion."
Which the Forge Father is a bit surprised, but he does say that loyalty runs deep in you, young dwarf.
It's very nice. He
nice.
understands, but he doesn't understand, but he's just gonna go with it.
And he says if you're ever free from your obligations and wish to come here, he will happily accept him.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's true. Now, Val as a cat finds the elves in the ghetto. Right? But we don't really go into depth with that. Like, she just found it and she didn't interact with any of them.
No, she didn't turn back to an elf at all. And she just watched. And Jeff briefly described them, but I mean, he didn't really go back. He didn't really go into detail about it. He just said that they pretty much kept to themselves, right? The elves pretty much kept to themselves. They didn't interact with the dwarves, and they were just being. They were just being them.
Yeah, and she actually thinks that, seeing where they live, she actually thinks that elves wouldn't really want to live here, but they do. It's not really nice,
No.
what she's used to, but whatever. She doesn't know what she's used to. She doesn't remember.
Well, I mean, think about her sister too.
But there's always
right? In the Marcy,
exactly.
mercenary band. So I mean, there ain't all about the woods, I guess. We don't know about elves. In all honesty, what the fuck? No, we have zero information.
Now we
the party reconvenes.
reconvene. We actually ask Andrew what he's gonna do. When he's gonna fuck off and what he's gonna do when he fucks off. And he's like, I don't know, but I'll keep you posted. We're like, okay, cool. Stay with us as long as you want.
Yeah, Devril does offer that he's more than welcome to stay because he's been a great addition. But in celebration of reaching our planned destination, and perhaps being the last time we travel with Andrew, our fine ladies of the party decides to see if they can't throw a celebratory party on a budget.
And good rolls were had. Ileana rolls a 001, which gives her gives her 3 degrees of success. Holo also gets 3 degrees. So we get on it. We find a naive young nobleman.
You wrote a naive young nobleman. Oh, poor
that's
naive
what Jeff said.
Young nobleman. No, I know, but I'm just saying poor naive.
I know, yeah.
Young nobleman.
So, yes, this poor young nobleman, we just wrap him around our fingers and get him to buy us a bottle of the most expensive rum in the house, and then a bottle of the most expensive wine in the house. Sorry, this is so funny.
Keep going.
Yeah, and then we invite him back to our table. All this flirting is making Devril jealous, but it don't matter because we get free booze.
Yeah.
Now, we have a few rounds with him. He keeps buying rounds for us.
Oh yeah. And then finally, did you want to
the dwarven ale? There's also a dwarven ale.
Oh yes, okay, go for it. Yes.
And Nurhaz is fucking stoked that we have this dwarven ale, and it apparently tastes like shit to
It's the
everyone else,
worst.
but Nurhaz loves it.
Yeah.
And it's like they said it was, or Jeff said it was like a barley wine
Mm.
with with
So
mushrooms.
really, yeah. It
Just
was
very
barley
strong.
wine that was made with mushroom. Yeah.
Yeah. Now you go for it.
All right. Yeah. So the night's going. Everyone's drinking, having a good time, and Evander decides, well, politely ask this young, naive nobleman for a little privacy because he has something to discuss with the group. To which the young, naive nobleman uh, slurs that absolutely he understands, and I was gonna use the washroom anyway.
Yeah, and he gets up
gets
and he does a little like wobble, and then he
the
just
little swoon, the dip
yeah,
and swoon.
and then he
Uh,
staggers off to the trough
yeah,
or
and
whatever.
never to return again.
He was yeah.
He doesn't return until
No.
until after
The next day.
Anyway, yeah. Anyway,
Yeah, we wrecked that poor guy.
yeah, and and Evander, I don't want to fuck this up.
He what would he just asks if we remembered anything.
Yes,
Um
and then he
And-
specifically pokes fun at you with his, if you remember anything more.
yeah, and then
about
Deborah
this
completely
Zyron.
changes the subject. Cause Deborah was like, "Oh yeah, oh also Nurhaz was at the thing today. Did you have it? Did you like get any more information? Or
Oh,
get any
that's
information
yeah,
or
that's
anything?"
true. Because
Like he just completely
yeah.
redirects the question, and we're like, "Okay."
Yep. This-
Now actually Evander asks about the dream that Deborah had. Deborah
Right.
had.
Yeah, there was that talk, and then Holo got into it, and they start probing Devril.
Yeah, they're like, well,
and-
maybe you'll have the dream again if you like do this. They're like, try to focus on this and like try to have the
Yeah.
dream again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, they start probing Devril for answers, asking about, the dream, how he was feeling, things like that, and he tries, but it's really he's having a trouble. So he he changes the subject and asks Nurhaz. Nurhaz tells everybody of what he found out of his father, stuff like that with the forged father. He just recaps all of that, and the party has a good time. Now as they're things are winding down and people are going up back to their rooms, the door to the inn is quite forcefully opened, and in swaggers a group of very well armored men, and they all of them are armed, but all of them have a matching broadsword on their hip with a pretty wide blade and a symbol on their chest. To which we recognize, or some of us recognize, Nurhaz and Evander, that it is the... What are they fucking called? Holy...
Tyrannic.
Tyrann Mark.
Well, he said Tyrannic, but they're from Tyranmark.
Yes.
Then the people
Right, the people
are Tyrann markers, but they
Yes.
speak Tyrannic, and the weapons are
Yeah, they're...
fantasy world.
Yes,
We don't
yeah.
ask questions.
They're basically the mercenary. They're a very well mercenary group that basically were stationed up in the north to hold shit down. And for the first time in like 4 years, they were on the move. That was the rumors that we heard all the way when we were in Sandon. Like this
Yeah.
going way back. And apparently this big mercenary group that was stationed in the northern city is finally on the move. To where? Nobody knows. But apparently they made it to Sarnath. and they're here. So they're pretty rambunctious. They, throw their weight around. We don't fuck with them. So
We
everyone
just go to bed.
we just
Probably a good idea.
slide in
Now,
there.
back
Ooh.
in the room.
Spicy. This the spicy.
Spicy. Yeah. So Ileana actually went up first and prepared the gift that Nurhaz brought back for Devril, but gave it to Ileana, and he's like, "Give this to him.
But
It'll help in the."
Not in that many words.
He says it'll help in the bedroom, is what he said. And she's like, "Well, fuck," and then just brought it up. Anyway, so yes, back in the room. Sorry,
Yeah, you're off in your own head. Just the fantasy, the
I am.
fanfics is just
yes,
writing.
absolutely. So yeah, I'm shipping the hell out of this in the back of my mind. So Devril comes to the room and Ileana's there and she's got the thing and she's like, "Here, Nurhaz brought this back for you. It's a gift. Here you go." And so he unwraps it and it's the Nodachi that Sangka asked for, but Devril doesn't know how to use this. But he's like, "Oh,
Yes.
this is cool.
Yeah.
This is the most beautiful thing I've ever seen."
Yeah.
Rihanna's like, "Well, fuck."
I didn't mean it like that. I'm sorry.
Yeah. Now, while he's admiring the sword, Ileana tries to summon Siren again.
She says his name. Say my
She's
name.
like, "Siren, I know you're in there. Can you please talk to me?"
Yeah.
And she gets someone other than Devril. But it's not. It's a different voice. And he comes out and he goes, "Hello, sweetie." And she's thoroughly creeped out.
Yeah.
Thoroughly creeped out because this is not the Zyron that she remembers. And
It's the same voice. It's the same voice of Zyron as before, but
but a lot more murdery.
Yeah, a lot more murdery. No, it's just definitely a more sinister feel to it.
So Kylo, this is the part.
Yeah, where Devril gets fucked by a devil.
Yeah, we're watching that this weekend, by the way. Sanka's never seen this again, so I'm gonna fix that. Yeah, and so they have a lengthy talk, and she asks him a bunch of questions, and she's like, "Who are you?" He says, "I'm."
Was it really that lengthy?
And it wasn't lengthy, but like she asked him a few questions, and she's like, "Who are you?" And he's like, "Oh, I can't believe you don't like you don't remember like
just like a mocking like
oh, you've been dying to meet me," and she's like, "Haven't we already met?" And he's like, "No," and she's like, "What about the old one?" And he ate the old one.
Yeah, that's the words that he used.
I ate him, and she's like, "Well, what are you gonna do to Devril?" And he's like, "I'll eat him too. Don't you worry." And she's like, "Well, I'm fucking worried." And then Devril comes back, and Ileana her jimmies have been rustled.
Russell Jimmies.
They are the most rustled jimmies, and she decides to go for a walk, and she doesn't even say goodnight. She just leaves. And goes to tell...
Devil does try to stop her. It's late. Do you want me to come with you? Like, are you sure?
She's like, "Nah, leave me. Let me go." And so she goes to Nurhaz and Evander's room. They're both naked, but that's totally fine. And she has a little chat with Evander and tells him what happened. And he says, well, if she doesn't feel safe, she can stay with them. So she does, which throws a rift between this RPG couple.
Oh, but it just makes the gravy so much thicker.
So much thicker.
So much thicker.
Yes. Now, the next morning, the Tyrion markers are still in the tavern.
Yeah. They literally just stayed the night.
They just drank all night. They didn't even go to bed. And it's actually Devril's gonna go return the amulet or the medallion that he found.
The adjudicator medallion that we found in the werewolf cave.
Yep.
Along with its effects.
Yeah, and Evander decides to go with him and have a little time.
Yeah. While everyone just stays in the tavern. Now, during the walk, the two talk about some things. It's a very father-son talk. Devril asks for advice about Ileana, asks if he's done anything wrong since she feels a bit cold this morning and didn't come back to bed that night.
And Evander's like, whoa, you stayed in my room last night.
Yeah, which Devril is just like, well, thank goodness, as long as she was safe. Asks if he did anything wrong. Evander assures him that, you know, he's done nothing. She totally reciprocates the feelings that he has for her. They're 100% okay. And we
Totally
reach,
genuine.
yeah, totally, just you're golden boy. But he does drop a hint that, you know, don't be your own worst enemy. To which,
Such
you know, yeah,
good dialogue.
yeah.
Such good dialogue.
Yeah, so Devril says, of course, you know, he'd do anything for Ileana. He would never want to hurt her again, especially after all the stuff that he, you know, indirectly did to her by putting her in jail. That was bad. That fucked with her too much. And they approach this cathedral, and this cathedral is huge. Like easily fitting like 1,000 people. It's the main church of the city. It's probably mostly for the noble, but this place is gigantic. And the inscription is on the plaque of the cathedral. Says Saint Darabont Cathedral.
Yeah.
And
It is the 27th of Mercator, by the way.
Yes, yeah, this 27th. But Darabont was a warrior saint. It was during the border war with the elves. It was the border war with Tyrannmark in the north.
Yes.
800 years ago, etc., etc. Whatever. Devril goes in, finds a brother, says that he's there to return the effects of a fallen judicator that he found at a den, returns the medallion, returns the burning sword. Boom. He gets led into this place where it looks like a museum. It's filled with artifacts, you know, pristine armor, broken sheaths, burned, shit. You know, the priest stows away the sword and the medallion and gives Devril 10 gold pieces for his troubles. So, you know, it was great.
Yep. And the dead judicator's name was Iskil.
Yeah, Iskil. Biggest fantasy. All right.
Yay.
All right.
Okay,
Perfect.
so this,
That was a good
as I
place
was
to cut.
saying, I was saying, this is when shit gets juicy.
This is the juicy part. This is the juicy part. Yeah.
So we're back at the tavern, sitting around the table. Devril decides to bring the Angelus to light. Angelus being the illicit substance that we found on Arthur's person when he died. Now, what do we do with the Angelus?
Devril. Devril brings it up. Says that, you know, his instinct tells him that they really shouldn't have it. He's worried that, you know, adjudicator. Basically, the instinct is telling him that it's something bad and he should get rid of. But because of certain things, our Norhaz's shopping excursion, we are pretty low in funds. And, you know, maybe he's wrong. Maybe it's totally nothing. And we could sell it for money. Now, Evander takes a look at it for the first time and is able to figure out what it is specifically, because we tried to figure it out, but Arthur wasn't able to tell us. He died too fast.
Yeah, so Evander knows that Angelus is a powerful psychotropic drug. You basically trip balls.
Hard.
All the
hard
balls. When you're on it. Basically, we compared it to, like if you take too many doses, we compared it to the drug from 21 Jump Street. Like the stages, and then the last stage is dying.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
But yeah,
Straight up.
so we basically decide that well, somebody plants the seed of, oh, well, maybe it'll bring back some memory.
No. Okay, so no. We're talking about it, and Evander's, telling the group, he's like, oh, this hallucinatory drugs, maybe it does. It makes you see things. It makes you see visions. And Devril perks up and says,
Ah.
like memories?
Like memories.
To which
And
oh,
Jeff laughed out loud.
Oh
Um,
yeah.
So we decide we're gonna make Devril take the
Yeah,
Angelus.
we left it up to a vote, because Evander did say it's quite dangerous. I don't know what you're gonna do, and I said, Devril says, I trust you, Evander, and if all of you are willing to look out for me, I'll be truly grateful, and we'll take it. So we took it up to a party vote, and it ended up passing.
Yeah. Oh, Andrew. When we asked Andrew his opinion, he's like, "I've been around enough people to know that that Angelus never really goes over well.
Never ends
But
well.
I'm also a firm believer in freedom of choice, in freedom.
It's free. It's a firm believer in freedom. America.
Yeah. So knock yourself out. Probably literally.
Yep.
Yes. So Devril, you rolled for. Oh no, Jeff rolled for how long the effects take.
So it's,
and
well, okay. Let's not rush. So that night, after it goes, everyone goes to our room, to Devril and Liana's room. Devril is, he takes off his armor. He's relieved of all weapons. They have the manacles that he has as a adjudicator. Nurhaz is in full plate with his shield, like he's in full armor and shield. Val is still a cat, and she's perched up on top of the dresser. Of the dresser.
Very high ground, as high as she can go.
Hollow is next door because she doesn't want to be a part of it. Her thinking that if she does, if anything happens, she might turn into wolf, and it's probably best.
Shit will hit the fan.
Yeah, it's probably best that she stay out of this. And with all that said, Devril takes the bottle of Angelus and downs it. Now, this persists for 4 hours, which we rolled, and I rolled for the effects, and it just turns out that Devril flies into a rage.
Yeah.
And the first person he sees is Nurhaz, but he doesn't see Nurhaz. He sees quite an older man that it almost feels like an aged version of Devril himself. And he just feels this burning rage and vengeance towards this man, and just straight up just lunges at Nurhaz or this man, and starts yelling and screaming, I'll kill you, all that, and just incessantly attacking him. So Nurhaz is able to fend him away, hide behind his shield and, fend him away while Nurhaz is clawing at him. This man turns out to be Devril's father, Gareth.
Yes.
Oh, fuck. Hit my mic.
Easy. Easy. And yeah, so he screams. Did you already? Yeah, he screams, "You'll never hurt her again."
Yes. Yeah.
Pounding
Never
on
hurt her again. Yeah, things are going. And this goes on for a while. Like,
we're asking, party, like, who am I? What did I do?
Yeah.
Stuff like that.
Yeah. Things, they're asking away. Devril's basically, he's kind of cognizant. He's pretending that, he's... all the questions that they're asking seem to be coming from the guy, and so he's just he's indignant about it, telling him, how dare you play dumb, how could you do that, you hurt mother, I'll never let you, all that jazz. And yeah, this goes on for a while.
Now.
Yes. Evander and Ileana.
Yeah, Ileana comes into view. and Devril sees her as a little girl around the age of 8. She has a black eye, and he feels very, very protective towards her. And he goes, Mara, get away from him. Get away from him right now. And she's like, well, are you my brother? And he's like, of course I am. What are you talking about? What did he? And she's like, no. And she tries um, to get him to like talk about Zyron because she thinks that maybe
yeah, which is you, like it's Ilyana,
yeah.
right? So
And so
Ilyana's
well, exactly. She's like, oh well, I don't want to come to you because I'm afraid that he'll hurt me. And he's like,
yeah.
oh, what has he done to you? Like, what has father done to you? She's like, no, not father, the other one, Zyron. And he's like, who are you talking about? Who is this? Like, and yeah, it's just that yields no results. So Ilyana's
No.
like, well, fuck this. And Evander picks Ilyana up and throws her out of vision and comes into vision now.
Oh.
And Devril gets really mad and he's like, you, why did you run? And he's like, oh, who am I? And he's like, the coward, the chicken.
that chicken.
Percival. Yeah.
It's just really bad. And that, Percival ended up, is Devril's brother, who left home.
Percival was also a chicken in
well,
Pathfinder campaign.
Grimm's
like a literal chicken.
Trusty chicken. Trustworthy chicken companion. But no, it's Percival. Percival left home. Devril blames him for all the things that happened at home, says that he could have helped, done something, protect Mother, protect Mara, all that jazz. So he's really pissed at her, but not this vengeful rage. So after all this happens, they decide they restrain him, put the handcuffs on Devril, right? And at which point, once they finish cuffing him, Ilyana asks if she can be alone with him.
Right.
Yeah.
And so that happens. Nurhaz and Evander are like, call us if anything goes sideways. She's like, yeah, you'll know.
Right outside the door.
Yeah, and so she tries to summon Zyron again, and no results. She keeps saying the name, and he's like, no, I can't believe, like, why, blah, 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 blah. And he's just like in this, he's a wreck.
Tripping. Yeah, he's tripping.
He's totally.
He's just constantly apologizing to Mara and, just telling her, to Ilyana, who he sees as Mara, telling her that, he's apologizing, that he'll protect her, he'll do a better job, like he won't let, father hurt her again, etc., etc. Just, Ilyana doesn't get anywhere on the Zyron front. Let's just put it that way.
Yeah.
So, the Evander decides to stay in the room. Everybody goes separately. He said, I'll stay off. As soon as the effects wear off at 4 hours, it's depressant. So Devril gets depressed and he just sleeps, because he's just tuckered out from expending all that energy. Evander's there. Devril wakes up early in the morning after recovering from the after effects, and all of this basically rushes in, like all of this comes back to him, right? At the moment he doesn't remember anything, but he remembers all of that. So he remembers his father, he remembers his mother, sister, brother, everything that's happened, that he attacked Nurhaz, who he thought was his father, etc., etc. And he just breaks down crying.
He's deeply depressed and actually going through withdrawal. Like he craves more of it once he's come back.
Yeah. So Evander wakes up, sees this Devril, wipes a tear from his eyes, and uncuffs him. And they basically have this talk. It's like, do you remember everything? And Devril's like, yes, but I don't want anyone else going through that at all. Like that was just hell. That's where he left it.
Yep. So I think We haven't said we're not,
Yes.
so we're hoping that we are playing on Sunday.
Yeah.
We will be without Holo
Mm-hmm.
as a
But
player character, but she might still be with us. Jeff might still
oh yeah.
integrate her in there.
Um,
Yeah,
but after that, we'll make more announcements too. But this we won't be meeting for 2 weeks after that. So we'll post specific dates again. As per usual, make sure to follow us with our Twitters, our Facebook pages, where you guys can keep up to date with Sunday Night RPG and Recap Thursday, and also a bunch of other stuff from us. It's starting to be the end of summer. Schedules are going to start to settle again.
yeah.
And hopefully
That's what we always say.
Yeah, that's what we always say. But
Schedules never settle.
But then winter comes and Christmas plans and you know it. But we will definitely keep you posted. We are 90% of a go for this Sunday, and we will see you guys then. And I said I'll fix the whole playlist kerfuffle for the recaps so you guys can have it in orders. This is going to be hell with that. I keep on forgetting that I need to locally record as well.
Oh, did you not?
When this shit happens, when this shit happens, it doesn't. You know what? We'll see you. Any last words?
Art is coming. If any of you have been watching, and you might actually have it up right now. I don't know. Do you?
No.
Yes, you do. That picture behind Sangka, I did with traditional media, but yeah, I drew that. Don't. Yes, you don't have to like take it down or show anybody unless you already are, but like it doesn't matter. I drew it and then colored it in with pencil crayons, with watercolor pencil crayons, and realized that the paper I was using was very thin. And I didn't like the way it looked, and it wasn't as vivid as I wanted it to be. So I'm in the process of digitizing it. I'm like halfway through. So that Pokemon Go Sangka fan art will be done maybe today, maybe tomorrow. We'll see. But check my page. I also did post comics of our Dark Heresy, our first Dark Heresy session on my Facebook page, which is also on my DeviantArt. So if you click on that and then go to my DeviantArt account, then you can see there's 4 pages.
It's fantastic.
I just did the intro, but it's great. It's just
great.
us like rolling our characters. Really, really fun. So, yeah.
It was definitely a good throwback. Throwback Thursday.
Yes. Yeah, I
Go
found
do
like
it.
all of this shit in my folder, all of this art. So, art
All right.
is something. That's it.
That's it.
That's all.
Yeah. We'll see you wonderful people this Sunday for Sunday RPG.